Hi Aquarius, welcome to your deep love read for the end of November. Let's get right into this. It's just going to be an energy read. The only thing I want to mention about the astrology, which is only going to be for a second, is you guys are lucky dogs. Lucky, lucky, lucky coming up, because you have this the full moon lunar eclipse, which we're going to do a whole video about. You have it happening in your fifth house of romance, falling in love, creativity. I mean, this is a big house, you know, and also Mars is finally going direct in your third house, right, of communication. So put like good communication together with the house of romance. We're talking good stuff for the area of relationship. So this is going to be for those of you who are in relationship already, or in a weird space, or single looking. However, you know, the messages will connect with you. So we're going to pull 3 whispers of love. First one for the past, then present, then future. And then I'm going to pull a Celtic cross spread for each of you. So for you and for another person that you might be dealing with. Okay. So we have in the past, actions speak loudly, express your love through action. So this was not happening, Aquarius, and maybe not in the best way, meaning how demonstrative were you in your relationship? Were signals and energy sent to you by somebody through their actions, you know, rather than their words, right? Where you were vibing, something was off with them, where you were vibing, something being askew, right? So, you know, really looking at somebody's walk rather than their talk in the past, and maybe coming to a conclusion. So within the relationship, maybe, you know, you need to be more demonstrative. They need to be more demonstrative. Or, you know, there might be other issues, you know, underneath what's being presented in the past that maybe were not addressed, right? So this could be having to do with the relationship you're in, if you guys are in a weird space. But even this is something that you can absolutely ask yourself, Aquarius, right? Where if you're single, you know, is this something that has been an issue for you in the past? Currently, right now, we have express your love through gifts. A small token of love can convey great appreciation. And this doesn't have to be a big thing, but this is just really letting somebody know that you care about them. And this may be something that you're looking for. And a token just is to show it indicates appreciation, really. So, you know, the combination of the actions speak loudly, this expressing your love through actions, and this small gifts, it seems like the idea of like little acts of kindness going a long way kind of thing, being really transparent as well, making sure that the walk matches the talk. And then we have embrace your emotions as the future, allow your feelings to surface and be accepted. So a lot of good communication, guys, is really going to be happening in this energy for you guys. I do feel like that. Allow your feelings to surface and be accepted. However you've been feeling about a situation up to this point. Make sure we get these correct. Oh, hello. Hello. Things are popping, but before I'm shuffling, so I'm not taking them. So I'm going to pull a Celtic cross spread for you first. So what energies are coming out for our Aquarius friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Cups. Okay. Got yourself as the crowning. Okay, looks like something is recently the end of a cycle. Okay. It's interesting. This is one of the ones that wanted to come out. Okay. So we have in the recent past, Ten of Wands energy indicates lots of burdens, stress, exhaustion, and something being over, right? I mean, it's the card of the multitasker. It's the card of overwhelm. Something became too heavy, too burdensome in the recent past. And it does indicate an ending, Aquarius. So you might have been the one to end something, or somebody else may have been the one to end it. But right now, the current situation, we have the Four of Cups that's working with the Six of Wands. So the Four of Cups is about, you know, being apathetic, feeling unfulfilled regarding relationship. But there's something here that you need to look a little more deeply inside of yourself regarding what it is that's pulled up inside of you within relationship, whether it's within the relationship that you're in, that you were in, or even if you're by yourself right now, really getting in touch with what is it that feels unfulfilled in you, and are you looking to somebody else to fulfill it, or is it something that maybe you just need to look at, your way of processing something within relationship. Do you know what I mean? We have this being crossed by the Six of Wands, beautiful energy about being victorious, right? Being recognized. This does indicate good news coming in. So we have this feeling of apathy and feeling unfulfilled, but it's being crossed by this idea of success, by good news coming in. So this could be certainly something that's going to happen in the 3D, or something that you're wishing to happen. This could be you reaching out to somebody, or them reaching out to you. We have the crowning energy here is the Star. And again, this is you. This is Aquarius. This is about renewal, hope, inner clarity, that miracle happening that you're waiting to happen, having faith in something. But this is all about the future as well. You guys are all about the future. You guys are your modern ruler is Uranus, and Uranus is really about higher consciousness, the future, learning. It really is about moving forward. Now, very literally, because Uranus does rule technology, you could be meeting somebody online. That could definitely be a thing that's going on as well for many of you who are single. We have the foundation is the Page of Swords. So Page of Swords does indicate the truth coming out. There is this truth that's just cannot be denied. Some of you may be dealing, when it comes to relationship, too many people involved in your stuff, where there's gossip and prying eyes. Everybody has an opinion about your love life. That kind of thing could certainly be happening for many of you. For others of you, it's just simply this truth being revealed. And to have the foundation as the truth, and to have the crowning as the Star energy, the Star really is about healing, but it's healing through renewal. And that renewal happens because there's inner clarity. So I really like that we get that after the Four of Cups, because again, while you're feeling apathetic and unfulfilled, it may quite literally be because somebody is acting in a particular way, or your past experiences have been so that you've just been you know what, I can't really connect and click with somebody in the way that I'm really looking for. But what I see is you looking deeper into yourself, and at least getting in touch with more, for those of you who are single especially, more about what it is that you want, need, and desire. For those of you in a weird space, maybe you're recognizing what you allowed to go on in the relationship that doesn't serve you, It doesn't make you feel good. It's not about serving you. That actually sounds kind of narcissistic, but that it actually pains you, right? And you're getting in touch with that. Right now, your energy is about the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is about focusing on yourself for a minute, your solo pleasures, being self-sufficient for the moment. Right now, I do see this is external to you, Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is somebody feeling rather frustrated, feeling the sense of delay, feeling this because there's not this message coming in. They may be waiting, somebody may be waiting for you to call them, Aquarius, or you may be waiting for them to call you. But you're just very focused on you. As the Eight of Wands in the upright is all about speedy action, moving forward quick, good news coming in, and there being almost this frenetic moving forward because of it. But in the reverse, there's this idea of delay and holding back and frustration. And this is the energy that's external to you. Now, in your hope and fear, right, because often they work together, we have the Six of Cups energy. And I think this is an interesting card to get here because this is about reunion. Well, it doesn't mean that you're going to be forced into a reunion. None of these energies mean force. It means you're going to be faced with the decision of whether you should return to something. But regardless, there's this idea of nostalgia, right? But this is in your hope and in your fear. So it's it might be quietly something that you're hoping for, but at the same time, you're kind of scared of it because you don't want to repeat any patterns. You don't want something to go back to the way it was. You really, really don't. You want something new. You want to create something new. So if it's going to be more of the same, I'm kind of feeling like you're not interested in it, right? But at the same time, in this near future, we have the Knight The Knight of Wands energy is about feeling very sort of free spirit and very motivated and very passionate about moving forward. It's very lusty energy as well. So you could be meeting somebody brand new who is like this. You could be in the space of being like this. But it is this idea of you getting into this space right now of Aquarius of being very free spirited about something. So, you may not want to be in anything super serious right now because of something that you've gone through, that you're experiencing. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. I just see it as not happening just yet. Because I'm sensing that an energy external to you may be feeling kind of frustrated right now. So again, the energies could always be flip-flop, vice versa, because it's an energy read and that's the way it becomes very enmeshed. But these are definitely what's clearly showing up here. Now, as the final outcome, fabulous, we have the Magician. This is about focused creativity, turning visions into reality, feeling a lot of inspired action here. But what I like about this for you is this is a Mercury energy, right? And Mercury rules Gemini as well as Virgo. And so we have this very strong energy. What is Gemini? Gemini is the third house. Where is Mars for you right now? Finally going direct, where you're going to be feeling fire in your feet to take charge and move forward, right? It's that third house for you, right? So you're going to be very ready to learn something new, communicate in a way that's going to bring you something that's going to make you feel good, right? Because then we have this moon energy happening in your fifth house, which is all about, it's a me house, right? And it's very much about love and romance, falling in love, connecting in a way that really resonates with you that maybe didn't resonate before. So what I like about this additionally is that there's healing in this energy as well. It's like learning a way of communicating, right? Because Mercury rules Gemini, but Mercury also rules Virgo, which is our health, mental, physical, emotional. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of really good communicating that's going to end up improving the health of whatever kind of relationships you're in right now or that you're going to be in. And you being able to make it happen. Because you're going to be able to turn whatever's in your mind's eye into reality through inspired action. Not through just trying to sit down and manifest it, because that really is ridiculous to think that, right? We have to incite action on the other side of something. So I do see something, happening for you in this area of relationship because you are choosing to make it happen. So I do like that. Okay. Very good. Let's see what's going on with the person that you're dealing with. Let's see what's going on with the person that Aquarius is dealing with. Whether this is somebody new, somebody they're with now, somebody they're in a weird space with. Okay. And I like that we got that. Embrace your emotions. Allow your feelings to surface and be accepted. Yeah. I mean, look, you want what you want. You want what you want. Right? The Devil energy. So remember that Devil energy, while it can have to do with addiction, greed, envy, materialism, obsession, sexual lust, all that stuff, it's imbalance. It's imbalance. Whatever that means. Addiction could be to anything, alcohol, drugs, food, sex, whatever. So we have in the recent past here for them the Hierophant energy, which is about traditions and conventions and expectations and conformity and thinking things should be a certain way and they need to be a certain way. For some of you, if you're married, if you're in a situation where you're married or if you're in a long-term relationship, this could be where they felt that they were honoring the sacred in your relationship and that there were certain expectations and they needed you to conform, and it's kind of like they had these very, I want to say rules. I kind of want to say rules, and rules don't always work very well with Aquarius. It's funny. I mean, it does when it comes to certain things, but not if it threatens your autonomy. And I'm talking about Aquarius, the archetype. You're way more than just an Aquarius if Aquarius is your sun sign, rising sign, Venus, or moon sign. we're a lot more than just those signs, right? But the general archetype, it's, it's an interesting energy in that way. So this current situation, we have the devil. So yeah, I mean, they're definitely in the space of imbalance. I already mentioned what that is, and that's being crossed though by the magician, right? By this focused creativity, by this desire to turn visions into reality, by wanting to take this inspired action. Now, for some of you, you might be dealing with an energy where it's like, they're almost trying to micromanage you. They're trying to turn their vision into your reality. Does that make sense? And that's not going to go very well, right? Because we have the crowning energy as the Five of Wands, and Wands are with this will kind of energy, and its rivalry and its challenges, right? Whenever we have this Five of Wands energy, I would say it's Saturn and Leo. Saturn always gives these restrictions and delays to things, right? And Leo is it's the fifth house energy, but it's ultimately, whenever Saturn is hanging out there, a lot of times the shadow manifestation of a sign will show up, which would be egotism. And because of that, there's this rivalrous kind of energy that's crowning this, but yet the foundation is the sun. The foundation is material happiness and this great outcome, and them honestly believing that you guys have everything that you need in order to make it. So even though you're not having a meeting of the minds when it comes to something, I definitely see them finding other things within the connection to salvage, to recognize, to honor. And I see that that's where they're at, right? I mean, right now, let me tell you, Aquarius, can I tell you? Whatever energy you're dealing with, you're going to know if this is your reading or not. It might not be your reading, but I could tell you right now, this person is the King of Cups. They're in this very sort of wanting to give you whatever it is that's necessary. I mean, they're in this very empathetic headspace, a very tolerant headspace, a very supportive headspace. But they feel you moving away. I mean, yeah, and Chariot's, action and change, moving away from toxicity, moving away. This is how they see you. So maybe you ended something that you saw that just was not good for you. That was not good for you. Now, their fear here, their hope and or their fear is the Princess of Wands. So when we have the Princess of Wands, we have this. First of all, it incites a new cycle, okay? And it's like this motivation and this passion to move forward. And they're afraid. It seems like they're afraid that there's not going to be this new cycle with you, that there's not going to be this new cycle of passion, of connection, of moving forward, of motivation, of love. Now we have in the near future for them regarding this relationship, the World. So to me, what does this say? This means learning a lesson. That is the World, most positive card in the deck. And you know what? It's Saturn energy. And Saturn always gets the bad rap, as I always say. Poor Saturn. They always call it the Great Malefic. It's like bad, Yeah, it's tough while we're going through it. But then when we're done and we get the lesson, decades and decades and decades of blessings, right? So I'll take that, right? But this is a completing a lesson. Somebody learned their lesson here. And they're very focused on the truth coming out and telling you the truth. The justice is like a cause and effect kind of thing, win-win, right? The truth coming out, and there being this recognition. Remember, the justice is a Libra energy. Libra is a seventh house relationship, and the glyph is the scales, right? So it's like, how equitable has this been? How loved has everyone felt in this situation? How appreciated has everyone felt in this situation? Because that's what it is, because it's Venus. Libra's ruled by Venus, and Venus is the trifecta of self-value and worth, right? Money, yeah, okay, and love. A combination of all those things. So how are all of those things looking in the relationship? Maybe money wasn't an issue. Maybe it was just like about feeling appreciated, feeling heard, feeling listened, feeling respected. Could just be that. But, asking these big questions. But I have to tell you, Aquarius, what I'm getting here is that somebody that you were involved with is learning their lesson during this time period. There's no question. There's no question. So there is this allowance of feelings surfacing up to be accepted. What you do with that obviously is going to be up to you. I mean, this is a general message. Everybody's story is a little different. Other energies in your chart, excuse me, are going to be, indicating things moving forward, absolutely. But let's pull some on-time wellness. And then we'll pull some cards to see what it is that Aquarius needs to be talking about with another person right now as far as relationship goes. So let's just get a little understanding of what's been going on here. Okay. So we have mask, not showing true feelings, hide, personify, pretend, delude, gaslighting. Doesn't have to be all of those. It could just be one or two. There didn't have to be gaslighting going on. Maybe somebody was not being completely forthcoming about how they felt in the connection, or maybe they're not right now. And we have the runner energy, runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. Passion, lots of chemistry, like each other equally, having fun. It's always trippy when that gets mixed in the mix, right? And then we have girl with a snake, empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enable, boundaries. So these are some situations that were going on here. We have a runner, we have an empath and a narcissist paradigm. And what does that mean? That doesn't mean somebody had narcissistic personality disorder. I don't like to jump into that bandwagon, but it's somebody who was like very feeling, and somebody who was like a little more distant about circumstances, about situations. And it could just be simply because, maybe you guys did not believe in the same ideas and ideals. Well, let's see what needs to be discussed, okay? Needs to be discussed. All right. So what needs to be discussed? We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So this is about, for some of you, maybe they were financial setbacks. For some of you, it might have been the situation where somebody was just always too busy for the relationship, whether it was because of work or busying themselves with other things, never really having time to dedicate in a healthy way to the relationship. For others of you, it could be, you need to discuss this idea of jealousy and envy. Now, for those of you not in relationship, these are things that you might be wanting to have a discussion with yourself about, right? And how have these things played out in past relationships to be called up to the surface to look at, right? Has jealousy and envy ever been a situation you involved in situations where maybe you are throwing yourself into other things other than the relationship because of other things going on in your life, and how maybe that might have impacted the relationship, or somebody doing that to you and how it made you feel, right? But we have this King of Swords energy, and this is just all about King of Swords is very strategic and all about the mental. So maybe this needs to be discussed in the situation, right? I mean, you guys are in air energy. So maybe the situation in the relationship is like, you're not sensitive enough. You don't care enough. You are, even though you guys are the energy, the humanitarian, maybe it's not in the way that the person that you were with thought you needed to be. Maybe you're recognizing in yourself, like you're just so in your mental. Aquarius, if that's who you are, it's who you are. It doesn't make you a bad person. But that might be a point of conversation. We have this with the Two of Pentacles in reverse. And what else needs to be discussed here? Somebody's inability to commit. Somebody's ability feeling like they're struggling. They're feeling completely overwhelmed by something. So you could have been feeling like, and again, this is conversation. So one or two of these cards could be you, one or two could be them, all could be one, all could be the other. It doesn't really matter. But these are just, energy is saying here that these are the things that need to be discussed. And then, of course, we have the moon energy. Okay, the moon is just about things being maybe underneath the surface and not revealed, right? That can end up ultimately being some sort of unseen problem that ends up inciting some sort of like changes. So, the moon is a tricky energy in that the moon rules our emotions, right? And where do our emotions hang out? Underneath the surface, not being very communicative, not being very open about how we feel, not being very transparent in how we feel, not necessarily malicious. You got to understand it's not that. sometimes we get the moon energy when we don't even know what we should be sharing, or we just don't feel it's important, or we don't feel comfortable. For some reason, we may not feel comfortable. So if you've been in a space where maybe you feel like, I feel like if I tell this person what I really feel, it's just not going to be well received. And then I don't know if I want to deal with that, could be that. So we have the sun. So whose ego, for good or bad, is getting in the way, right? But there is this idea. I like that we got the Gemini energy, right? Just because of what I was talking about with this full moon lunar eclipse. It's going to be happening in Gemini, this third house. So I do like this because this is where Mars is hanging out for you guys. There's going to be communication. And we got you guys here. We got Aquarius. So you guys are going to be talking about the future. You're going to be definitely, okay, so third house, it could be that you're talking about the future. You're thinking about the future because Mercury is a very mental energy. You're learning something about the future. Third house is Gemini as well, also rules the online communication that we have. So you might be focused on meeting somebody online. If something that you are in cannot be worked out, I do see that. For others of you, I see you communicating about the future with either someone new or with somebody that you're with right now. You're going to know how this would relate to you. You're going to know. It will be clear in that way. All right, and let's just pull one final card. See what kind of transit is going to be helpful. Let's see what we got. Pluto, beautiful. Transformation. And this is all about renewal and inner resources, really following that basic instinct, right? But allowing a rebirth, allowing a reckoning, allowing that, right? This is an 8th house energy, right? Which is very much a we energy, allowing there to be this definitive ending of something so that something can be transformed and rebuilt through honesty. Right? You're going to have to turn the moon to reverse though, right? We like the moon reverse better because the moon reverse indicates clarity and truth coming out. So just make sure that if you are having this conversation, which I am sure you guys are going to be having because Mars is going to be in there, make sure that you're being really authentic for yourself, Aquarius, for yourself more than anybody else. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.